Welcome to another episode of the RV Voice. Today we're talking about roofing. Do you have any roofing issues? Do you have a leak? Do you have a tear? Do you have some sort of issue with your roof? Or we're talking to someone that re-roofs roofs. He does a spray-on thing. You might have seen a TikTok video or his Instagram. His TikTok video recently just popped off, and he's doing some really cool stuff. And he reached out to me. He said, I want to be on the RV Voice. I said, all right, dude, let's do it. So Dalton's coming in. Dalton Fisher with Rhino Roofing. What up, y'all? Today's episode is brought to you by RV Fix. Let's walk through a quick scenario. You're on your RV trip that you've been planning for months, and bam, something goes wrong. Slide won't move. Fridge quits. The power's out. Now, instead of cracking open a cold one, it's fixing time. Total buzzkill, right? That's where RV Fix comes in. Call 1-844-66-RV-FIX and get connected via video call with a master RV technician. No middlemen, no dealership runaround, just real help, fast. And over 40% of these issues are fixed on the first phone call. If it's more serious, we've got you. We'll order parts and get warranty approval within hours, not weeks. Then we can either ship the parts to you and walk you through the fix on a second video call, send a mobile tech from our 2,000 plus tech network, or have you drop it off at the dealership once everything's ready to roll. And even better, you get to keep your rig during this whole process. No more waiting 4 to 6 weeks for basic repairs. With RV Fix, most shop fixes are done in just 3 days. Skip the stress, call RV Fix, and get back to camping, relaxing, and making memories. Use promo code RVVoice at checkout to get a 60% discount and lock in your price for years to come. Learn more at rvfix.com. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Dalton, how are you?
Good, man. How you doing, JB?
Absolutely. I'm doing great, buddy. I'm glad it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? It is Tuesday. Monday was a Monday this week for me. Heavily. It was the worst Monday I've had in a long time. Not a bad day. It was just like the most Monday feel that I've had in a long time. So
well, you got through it looks like.
Yeah, I'm still killing it. It's pretty hard to put me down forever. So anyway, buddy, you kind of were telling me a little bit about your background. You've been in the coating business for quite some time. It looks like 4 or 5 years now. Kind of tell us about your background and then how you kind of transition into RV roofing renovations.
Yeah. So I guess this technically goes all the way back to when I started racing dirt bikes. So I raced dirt bikes and started in 2013, something like that. Love racing motocross, weekend warrior, working during the week and then going to the track on the weekends. But Pops and I, we have a camper. I'm actually in it right now, but we have a camper and go to the tracks and, race the whole weekend. But I saw how many campers, go to these tracks and toy hauler, stuff like that, and how many people camp for these events. So, guess I started having an idea of what's out there way back in the day without even knowing where I was going to be today. But been around campers my whole life. Went to school, graduated Tennessee with a business management degree, and then left and got into the coatings business. So learned a little bit about Polyurea, the coatings, and kind of what we can do with this stuff. And tying it back to the motocross stuff, I knew there was RVs, and I know RV roofs leak. Whether it can be rodents, whether it be low-hanging branches, stuff like that. These roofs fail sometimes, and what Polyurea does is seals that stuff up. So got into the industry, started this business about 9 months ago, and we're taking off, man. We're sealing roofs and getting people lifetime roofs on their camper.
So I've heard this. So in the industry, being in the RV industry, 3.5, 4 years now myself, the lifetime warranty. What does that look like?
I think, I don't know what a lot of these shops give out for their warranties. I know it's a lot of stuff on the inside. I don't know how much they do warranties on the roof, but we throw the true lifetime guaranteed warranty on the roof. All the workmanship, everything we do on our end, we're going to back that. So if anything happens to your roof, if we do poor workmanship and something fails, bring it on back and we got you on the house. That's how much we believe in this product and know that, we're sealing everything where water can get in, and that's our job and that's our goal when your camper comes in. So everything's going to be protected, and we back it with a lifetime warranty.
Is there a 15 finite or 20-year finite? Like that's what I mean lifetime. From what I learned, lifetime. Just
yeah.
If it fails,
if you got this roof on your camper and you got a 2000 and you come back at 2075 and your camper's got a roof on it, we're going to fix that puppy.
Dalton's going to be walking around with a cane up there. He's going to be stabbing on the cane. That's what you're going to be doing, buddy.
Yeah. So true lifetime warranty.
Oh, very cool. So you keep saying this polyurea something. I don't know what the heck it is.
Polyurea.
Polyurea. That sounds. I'd drink to that. I'm drinking a poppy just so everybody knows. Polyurea. So like, what do you know about this product, and like can you talk about it a little more? Because when I think about re-roofing, I think about you just got to basically restart, pull up the EPDM, TPO, whatever it may be, PVC roofing, and restart. Basically, pull all the whatever's opening, right? Take all the openings off, AC, skylights, any vents elsewhere, and then re-roof. So you guys use the polyurea. How does that all work? And like, just talk about the product itself.
Yeah. I'll kind of run you through our process. So upon arrival, you bring your camper in and we check you in, get an idea and a game plan of exactly what you want to do to your roof. With that, I mean, like, are we going to spray over your skylight, or are you going to keep light on your skylight? Are you going to add a new vent fan somewhere? Are you adding solar? All those good things. So we know on the front end exactly what we're doing once your camper is getting worked on. So we'll start an inspection. We'll go over everything on your roof to make sure there's no water damage. If there is water damage, we'll go ahead and fix that. We can re-insulate, we can build trusses, we can do whatever. I've seen the worst of the worst out there. So definitely can do anything with the damages. And then we go into the prep process. So we get all your components prepped up and we put a wire tape on all that stuff. So we spray up onto everything. The goal of our roof is to create one monolithic surface. Everywhere there's screw holes or areas water can get into your roof, we're covering that. So we start our prep process basically where we can spray all these components in. We take off the AC so we can spray that area. We even go down a little bit in the AC hole just to really make sure that's sealed in. And then we spray our chemical. And what our chemical is 100% pure polyurea. It's got about a 450% elongation. So when you're going down the road and you hit those bridges at 70 miles per hour and your camper's jumping around and all that stuff, you flex with it. So not only do you flex, but we also have a Shore D of a 50 scale. So that means the hardness of your roof is comparable to a truck tire, a semi tire, or a golf ball. You know how when you hit a golf ball slow-mo, you can see how it's impacted, but it comes back. So our chemical is very rigid, yet very flexible. And I think that's what makes us stand out compared to different roofs that they're on the market. This stuff can take a branch falling on the roof is no match for the Rhino roof,
Interesting. Very interesting. The 450% elongation. So it stretches and it can move, it can sway, it can bounce, right? And you take basically everything besides, you take the AC off and leave everything else, and you go over screw holes, right? So basically everything around the skylight, for instance, right? You're covering those screw holes on top of that, or going over the top of the screw holes.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll take all the old screws out and put on our own screw heads that kind of just have a flatter look to them, so we don't have to spray too much chemical in that area. But we take off all your caulking, everything that's on your roof, all the caulking and stuff, we take that off. We like to spray over the membrane if we can. We'll clean that off and put a primer and stuff on there to make sure we adhere to it well. But if the membrane's in good shape, we like to spray over it just because it leaves a better looking finish, and we don't have to want to spray on top of the plywood usually. So usually we'll go on top of it, but all the components and everything get sprayed onto, so everything's sealed in.
Very interesting. Do you replace plywood too? So so I saw some pictures on your Instagram. It's like literally it's rotted. So do you pull all that off and replace that?
Yep, exactly. So we'll go in, check out that area that's rotted. If the water got into the insulation, we'll pull the insulation, let that dry out for as long as we need to, make sure there's no moisture in that area, throw some more insulation in, and then we redeck it. Yeah, so we'll redeck it with some plywood, get everything cleaned up, and we'll get you sprayed over.
Very interesting, man. So you said you started this because of dirt biking. What do you ride?
I got a KTM 450 is what I ride.
KTM recently just tanked, man.
Dude, they did. You're telling me. And recently my bike caught on fire a couple weeks ago, and we're going through some problems trying to get that figured out. So I'm about to have to deal with KTM corporate.
Well, all you had to do was buy a YZ, man. That's what I ride. YZ 250
off of, man. I'm about to go back. I'm about to be Blue Crew again, I think.
There's a reason why they made the same engine for 20-ish years. Because it works.
I'm with you. I made the change just trying to do something different, and I think I made a mistake. But I enjoy the bike, but this hasn't been a fun process getting it fixed.
Yeah, completely understandable, buddy. So anyway, back to actually what we're talking about. So you take everything off, you reapply. I mean, your spray gun, this stuff. Does this stuff have to be heated up to be sprayed, or is liquid form, and when it touches air, it becomes like how does that chemically bond properly? Is there different? The polyurea, do you use it? Is it different for TPO? Is it different for EPDM? Is it different for PVC? Or is it all the same, and it all connects properly?
So the polyurea that we use is a two-part chemical. So we have an A side and a B side, and it goes into this super expensive machine and heats up to about 180 to 200 degrees as it goes through the hose that's heated. And then we spray it on top of the roof, and that's the first time that it bonds. So it starts activating. Pretty much it gets sprayed out right there, and it starts activating. So it'll get sprayed on, and in about 20 to 45 seconds is the tack time. You can walk on it after that. It's still going to be tacky and a little bit sticky, but you can walk on that chemical about 20 to 45 seconds after you spray it. So it comes out super hot, but after a little bit, it'll cool down and you can work on it or do anything if you ever needed to. But really cool process, and yeah, it's interesting.
Very interesting. And it connects to, like I said, TPO, PVC, EPDM, and it connects to all of those completely fine. It bonds well.
It's all in the prep process. I mean, it's all in. You got to take meticulous care. A lot of these roofs come with the caulking on it or silicone and stuff like that, and we're not trying to spray over stuff like that. So it's I take pride in our work here and everything we do. You gotta be meticulous with your work and get all that stuff off and prep the correct way before you spray this stuff on. And I think that kind of what separates us from other people out there is, we take care of our work and make sure the job's done right.
So you're saying basically the prepping work is really where the magic happens. So if you get all that flat surface, you can really, no bubbles, no sawdust, no whatever it may be, no shavings from metal of whatever. You have to get all that stuff. And once that's clear, you have a easy, nice, what'd you call that, fluid bond or a flat bond? What was that?
The monolithic surface.
That's the one.
One large sheet of polyurea. Yeah, it could be a mouthful, all these words.
Yeah, these are all things that I'm not used to saying, man. So big stuff for me. So question I have for you then, like you started this process because of your dirt biking background. Like, did you see a hole in you said people had, running under branches, whatever it may be. Do you see, like, obviously you trust this process because you made your own business out of it and you're putting your name behind it. So like, how well does this really work? And like, why is it a good route versus like actually re-roofing? Pricing could be part of that. You guys put the lifetime guarantee around 2075. You heard it here first. Dalton said, if you come back 2075, he'll redo
Bring it back. We'll see how it looks.
Within reason, don't beat the hell out of it.
Yeah. Only if you got issues with the workmanship, though. Don't be beating your roof up and bring it back trying to get a new one.
Yeah. So how well does it work? And like, what's the good, pros and cons versus like your route, like doing the polyurea thing and then actually re-roofing?
Yeah. Well, I did bring in here with me a little sample board of our raw material. So this is what it looks like. Obviously hard to tell, but we spray about a little less than a 1/4 inch thick on there. And this is what it would look like. So it's definitely thick. And a lot of people ask, how much weight does it add to the camper? You got to keep in mind, we take off all of this caulking before we prep. And you have been in the market with RVs. Sometimes these tags or these people can go crazy with this caulking. So they can go ham. So we take off all of that weight and then we spray our stuff on. And we add about 1/2 pound per square foot. So it's really not too crazy, especially after we take off all the stuff. But this is what it looks like. And I got a screwdriver. Stuff like this going into it does nothing. And if you know anything about the TPO or EPDM, that's going to put a hole through it. So one reason people go with this stuff is the peace of mind. I mean, you can go camping. Once you get this roof on, you go camping and you don't worry about ballooning down the interstate. You don't worry about low-hanging branches. You don't worry about water getting in your roof, so it gives you peace of mind and it's maintenance free as well. The only thing you got to do is wash the roof, and that's if you want to. So older couples that camp that don't like getting on their roof, or people that are afraid of heights, this is the best thing you can do to your roof. There's no other roof on the market that really does stuff like this when it comes to, what polyurea can do. And there's other people out there that do polyurea roofing, but it's the way to go when it comes to fixing your RV up. Another thing that makes this a competitive brand is pricing. So where I am in Tennessee, our roofing system is very competitive to all of the people around here that just redeck with the same roofing, TPO or EPDM. Usually we come out cheaper, to be honest. And when it comes to the lifetime guarantee and the strength that it does, if you've done your research and you understand, some people think it's expensive when they get the quote, right? But then they go realize it's just as expensive, if not more, to get this done, by the same thing that failed me. So that's another selling point that really gets people is the price is competitive. We're not trying to, steal your money here. We're trying to give you a quality camper. And at the end of the day, if we're both happy, that's all that matters,
Interesting. Heck of a salesman too. You're killing it, buddy. So question two, I got two questions here. Now, has anyone ever came to you to do this on a new roof? As in like just bought the RV, do it.
Yep. People do that a lot. Obviously you got to have some money in the bank to do something like that if you go buy a brand new camper and then you want to throw a roof on it immediately. But it's easy for us because the camper's fresh. There's nothing to worry about. The membrane's going to be nice, so it's sweet to spray on. And you don't have to worry about any issues down the road. I mean, they are going to fail at some point, most likely, and not always. People go up there and take care of their campers, and they can camp year round all the time because they go up and recalk their camper all the time. But sometimes you can't help things Mother Nature throws at you, or you can't help branches or rodents, like I said. So there's some things out there that you just can't help. So that's what we got.
Yeah, most definitely. The next question I would have, since you guys do new roofs, you do old roof repairs, so you'll take everything down to the decking, replace the decking, then reseal everything. Question about, like, say a skylight goes out, right, or a roof vent of some sort goes out. You guys go up over that, basically that lip, right, to seal. How does resealing that look?
So when you come in, there's a few options what we can do with the skylight, and that's pretty much the biggest thing that people have to worry about when they come in here is figuring that stuff out. So option one, you can completely take off your skylight. We can frame in the area and spray over that, and some people just decide to do that. Usually it's the guys that just don't care at all, and they might not have their wife with them, right? So the other option is we can leave light on the skylight but spray up about 4 to 5 inches depending on the model of the skylight. But we spray up onto it. So we seal in the area of where the screws are, but still leave the skylight itself. So you get all that natural light, but we like to get a new skylight on there when people are doing that versus the skylight that came with it, because that skylight, most likely, unless it's a new camper or something, has been affected by the elements. It's been out in the hot and the cold and been hit a little bit. So we like to throw on a fresh skylight before, we get it sprayed in. And then your third option is my favorite option because it takes the least amount of time and it works the best. You get a little bit of light with this when we spray over it completely, but it's strong. So as long as most of the time the people's wives are cool with a little bit of natural light, I like to talk them into keeping the skylight they have on and spraying over it, because I've got some videos on TikTok and stuff like that, and I think you've seen it. But the strength that you have with that skylight when I spray on it is nice. I can stand and jump on these skylights with how strong our roofing system is once I spray over it. So that's those are the options with the skylights, and usually the hardest decision to make when it comes to game planning with this roofing system.
You won't catch me standing on a skylight. Ain't happening. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the old. This reminds me of like Ryno lining your car or your truck bed. They used to Ryno line eggs, and like they used to like run over them with a car or run over them with a tire, and like wouldn't squash the egg. Remember those? Yeah. They drop an egg from 20 feet up, doesn't break. Like, okay, well, it's very similar, I guess. Similar marketing or similar idea of like just improving what's already there.
Yep. And their stuff is Polyurea too, so it's all similar. Yeah, truck bedding stuff is just a different makeup of chemicals for Polyurea, so it's all the same strong stuff, man. It's just different makeups to make it flex or have a harder, sure number to it, but it's all in the same industry.
Well, sweet, buddy. I think that answers all the questions that I have for you. Was there anything that you'd like to add I mean, I don't think I have any more questions. Like, we talked about how it works, how you apply it, what it is, and why it's good for a good route versus re-roofing completely.
Yeah, pretty much covers everything. If anybody watching this comes through Tennessee, feel free to stop by the shop and check it out. I think you'd be impressed by it, and really think this is the way to do RV roofs. So there's an instant quote thing up on the screen my boy just put up. So scan that, go to our site, check it out, and send us a quote and let's chat.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, I think this is a wonderful conversation. It's good information for everybody out there that's considering re-roofing their RV or considering, an alternative route. This is the alternative route versus going through the whole thing that's already failed you. This thing could really help. Sounds like what Dalton has given us the information about. I think this is a good option. I can't say a whole lot for the other thing, but if it failed, it failed, and he was just stabbing the crap out of it with a screwdriver. It wasn't going nowhere. Yeah. So I think it's a good option.
Yeah. It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough stuff.
Awesome, buddy. Well, Dalton, I appreciate it. And if everybody out there is watching this, give this guy a follow on TikTok. He's got his last one. You got one just recently popped off over 300,000. It just went nuts. And then follow his Instagram too. He's trying to build that as well. So give him some love. And everybody out there, stay tuned for more from the RV Boys.
Right on.